All right. Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Green. I wanted to, first of all, say welcome to all of you to the Gus Davis Athletic Training Program. You're going to have a lot of fun here. This is going to be a very exciting spring. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to actually go ahead and go through this video with you to kind of give you an explanation of what your responsibilities are in your clinical experiences, right? What it is exactly that you need to be doing in order to appropriately progress through your clinical experiences, and what your responsibilities are regarding, submission of goals, submission of forms, and even tracking hours and patient encounters. Okay, all of those things are vitally important to your success within a clinical. So I'm going to go ahead and just cover those things briefly for you here in this video and show you a little bit about that and how to do it. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so very likely now you can see my screen. So let's say that you're about to start a new clinical, which you are, okay? What's one of the first things that you should do, okay, as an athletic training student? The first thing that you need to do is you need to send an email to your preceptor. You need to reach out and make contact and introduce yourself, okay? And in the email that this is included in, there's a link to a spreadsheet, excuse me, that details so sorry, that details your preceptors for the spring and what experiences you will have. Okay, but okay, first thing you do is you send your preceptor an email to simply introduce yourself and say hello. Secondly, okay, you will need to complete goals. Okay, so there is actually a Google form that you will utilize to complete those goals, and so you'll pull this form up. For those of you who are starting, it'll be a link to you for you in this email. All right. And you will actually go through and you will actually choose your name. So here's our sophomores way at the bottom here. We have obviously Charlie, Will, Andrew, Owen, Kaya, Izzy, Bennett. Okay, you guys are all here, right? So obviously, if you're working at Gustavus, the clinical experience emphasis will be Division III athletics. And then, obviously fill in the name of your preceptor here in the next question, right? And then this is where you actually fill in what your goals will be, right, for the experience. I do realize this being your first experience, you may not have a ton of background in regards to kind of what a goal should be like or what it should look like, right? But at least give it some thought and think about what you want to learn and what you want to get out of the experience and do the best you can. So now, ultimately, let's say that you've started your experience. Let me pull up actually the athletic training middle page. Just 1 second here. So this is the athletic training middle page. Every day when you are actually in your clinical experience, you will have to not only track the number of hours that you're there, but you also have to track what you're doing every day with patients. Okay. So this is the athletic training middle page. Okay. And if you look at this page, you'll notice on the left-hand side, on the sidebar here, that there are two really important folders here that you're going to need to be very familiar with this spring and that you'll be using a lot. Okay, the first one is the patient encounters folder. This is where you're going to track your patient encounters. So you'll click on the link, and this will bring you right down to the section on the page, and then you go down to the bottom here, click on patient encounters. It's going to bring you to this fancy survey. Okay. And then obviously, there's, the name of one of our sophomores, there's Will. So you will actually go ahead and you'll, find your name from this list, and you'll click the next button. And I'm not going to click it because I don't want to record data, obviously, but then you'll click the next button and you will actually fill out the experience or the clinical encounter that you had, right? The patient encounter that you had and what you did. Now, really important caveat. Let's say that you had a day where you went into the ATR, right? And it was a slow day. That happens, right? But you still need to go in, even on the days where you didn't see any patients, still go in. And there will be an item in the dropdown that says, I did not, I was either not scheduled for a clinical today, meaning that you didn't go into the clinic or into the ATR at all, right? Or you may not have had any patient encounters. So, and those are actually obvious, those are choices for you in the event that that occurs. But if you see a patient and you're helping a preceptor or a fellow student with something, counts as a patient encounter. Okay, so make sure that you document that here. All right. Okay, the other thing, okay, your hours. It's really important that you document your hours. As we talked about, there is a minimum, okay, a minimum number of 5 hours per week that you have to have. Obviously, the ideal number of hours is about 20 a week, but we have a hard cap of 30, right? So you're not allowed to exceed 30 hours in a week. But how do you track that? So if you come back over to the left, excuse me, you'll see the hours log. You'll click on that, okay? And then you'll click on the link here. That'll pull up this beautiful spreadsheet. And so there's the month February there. I'm actually gonna just move that over. There's February, okay? So starting February 2nd, which is when your clinical starts. Okay, let's say that we had, maybe we had Owen down here. And on the first day of clinicals, he logged 3 hours. You would enter that here. Okay, that's simple. That's simple. Now, here's the deal. Okay, you guys will be receiving emails from me. So I'll actually be tracking these every single week. You guys are going to get emails from me. If you're either missing hours or don't have hours for the week, you'll be hearing from me about that. Right. Additionally, obviously, failure to not only track patient encounters and also enter hours. I'm sorry, you guys, but also, so failure to do those things can actually negatively affect your course grade in your classes. So these clinical experiences and encounters are not isolated, right, from your coursework. This is part of your class. Make sure that you're completing these things, because failure to complete these things can affect your grade in class. All right. So what happens though? Let's say now you've gotten to the midpoint in your experience, and now you've got a mid-experience evaluation that you have to complete. All right. So ultimately, that one is here, and I will issue reminders to you guys when these things are due. So you'll be hearing from me, but it's very important for you to know that this is what's expected of you. Okay. So let's look at the mid-experience form. Very similar to the goals, right? But then you'll go through and it will actually ask you, different assessments and things that you'll have to fill out. And so, yeah, you'll actually kind of reflect on obviously what you've done so far in your experience, right? What's worked, maybe what are some things that could be improved upon, right? And then obviously the date. Now, obviously you also meet with your preceptor to discuss this evaluation, and then your preceptor will actually do one of you as well. Okay. All right. And then obviously towards the end of the experience, so right when you're about to be done with that specific experience, there are then three encounters that you will, or three rather, evaluations that you'll have to fill out. Okay. That is the clinical site evaluation. So the clinical site evaluation is one that you'll fill out at the end of the experience. You will fill out an evaluation of your preceptor, so preceptor evaluation, and then you will fill out an evaluation of yourself. So kind of to give you a little bit kind of an overview, obviously, okay, make contact with your preceptor, fill out your goals, start your experience, track your encounters, track your hours, okay, fill out your mid-experience at the midpoint of your clinical. Your preceptor fills one out on you as well. Okay, at the end of your experience, you have 3 forms to complete: the self-evaluation, the preceptor evaluation, and the clinical site evaluation. Okay, that, guys, is the nuts and bolts of what your responsibilities are within a clinical experience. Okay, obviously extremely important for you to know and be aware of. As I mentioned, and please don't forget this, these clinical experiences are not isolated from your classes. These are a part of your grade. So please get these things done in a timely manner. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in class, and I hope that you have a great beginning to your spring semester. Thanks, guys.